We're about to have something really big that's about to happen, everybody, as we get this big polar vortex coming on in with this very high ridge of moisture coming through, bringing a lot of storms, a lot of severe weather, chances for tornadoes, damaging winds, and hail. That is going to start for today. Way bigger chance for tomorrow. Then as we get these storms coming through, we have a small storm coming to the northern tier of the United States and Canada right before Thanksgiving. Then right after Thanksgiving, when you're traveling back, an even bigger storm is still forming as we go into December. Plus something happening in our tropics. I'm going to give you the latest update on that as well. As you might have heard, tropics is closed. Hurricane season is over. On this channel, we've always been updating and it's always been showing a strong pattern coming in for December. So we never quit on hurricane season because we have something coming and we have been expecting it here. And I think something stronger is coming at the end of December. So I'm going to show you the latest information in this video, what this weather pattern is about to do. It's about to get plumb crazy, everybody. Happy Sunday, everybody. Mark again here at Weatherman Plus. Let's start real quick and go right to the MJO so you can see the latest information. Now you see when you look at your latest potential velocity anomaly, you see that we still have a lot of favorable environment that is moving through all the way from the end of November into the beginning of December. And look what's coming later in December around Christmas time. An even stronger pattern coming through. Now, for those that don't know, this lets you know where you have sinking air in the atmosphere. This right here, this is unfavorable conditions for storms to form, or rising air, a lot of convection, a lot of lift, a lot of favorable environment for storms to form. So you can see right here, as we go into the end of November, into the beginning of December, from Central America and Western. This goes into our Gulf, this goes into our Caribbean and our East Coast, including the lower 48. This is a lot of lift right here. Now you can see right here, as we go later in December, that we have something stronger potentially coming. Now this is going to be either in the Atlantic, at our main development region, our MDR, or going into our Caribbean. This even could affect the U.S. A very favorable pocket is going to be moving through. So if you're just now hearing about this, make sure you subscribe. We've been waiting for this for quite some time. Now we'll get more into that later. Remember, timestamps are always down below in the description, everybody. Now look at the weather pattern that we're going into as we look at our East Pacific Oscillation, our jet stream that's going to be affecting us on the West Coast. And we're about to go from that high ridge all the way down to a deep trough. This is going to make multiple storms that's going to peel off and go east and northeast across the lower 48. Showing the deepest point is around the end of November, after Thanksgiving, that we have an extreme weather pattern coming in for the very beginning of December. This is going to bring a lot of cold air coming punching straight south towards the south central and towards the central and eastern. This is going to make strong storms, potentially a lot of big snowstorms. Now you can see this when you look at our weather patterns. So this is our vortices, let's just know rotation in the atmosphere. And we do have chances for some thunderstorms, maybe even chances for tornadoes for today across western Texas. Then as this comes in further for tomorrow on this first trough is going to bring chances for storms for tomorrow. This brings chances for damaging winds, hail, and possibly a few tornadoes. Then as we come in for Tuesday, this is going to move further towards the east, where it's going to bring another severe weather event. Chances for damaging winds, hail, and possibly tornadoes again. At the same time, you see, as we go into Tuesday, we're going to get this other storm system coming in from Canada. Now, this trough, you can see it's rotating around, is going to hit a colder pocket of freezing temperatures as it comes across for Tuesday evening. For the eastern Dakotas, going through Minnesota, maybe even northern Iowa right there, and then into Wisconsin as well, and Michigan, possibly bringing snow. I'm going to show you your chances on that. Then right after that, we're going to go to our extreme weather pattern where you can see our jet stream is still going deeper. A very deep jet stream on the West Coast that's continuously bringing us storm after storm. So remember, that jet stream is going to keep going deeper and deeper. So starting for today, you can see thunderstorms in any of this green area. We do have a marginal and we do have a slight risk. And there is a chance for tornadoes. We have a 2%. This could be a little bit bigger. So far, here's your cities in Texas at risk for tornado for today. Also hail. Not showing the winds. This is going to be a tornado threat and possibly large hail, even a 15%. So here's your cities in Texas at risk for a hail threat, potentially large hail in that 15%. And we can see this here. So remember, this time and date up here on the top is Central Time, everybody. So it's a lot easier. This is actually your time over here in Texas. So as we go through the evening for today's show, and we could get chances for some cells to pop up for far western Texas. You need to be aware of chances for tornadoes to pop up with those cells. And some of them show they have a pretty strong core with them as well. Then as you go later in the evening, you see it moves towards Abilene, but it becomes more of a scattered storm event. This will just bring regular thunderstorms at this point, but showing later into the night, it could pop up again for far western Texas over here by San Angelo. So be aware. You can see the hail cores with those as well. Some strong storms coming from the evening into the late evening night, and you can see all the way from 11 o'clock. So we're seeing strong cells all the way to 11 o'clock in the evening for today. So just be aware. And these storms over here to the north going towards Oklahoma, this is going to be regular thunderstorms coming through. It could be a small chance for damage and winds to come with it. The severity is going to be over here into Texas. Now as we go overnight, showing your storms will keep going for today into tomorrow and bring it overnight. This is where it's going to bring a bigger threat to more people. Now you can see this is coming from San Angelo into Abilene as you go overnight into the early morning hours. Once again, all these thunderstorms over here are just going to be a cluster of storms. The severity is going to be right here for Texas. And as you go into the tomorrow morning, you see it builds right back up as it goes across the DFW. Right now, it's just bringing you regular thunderstorms. But once you go into the early evening, right after lunchtime, this is where it starts popping up your chances for these supercells to come up from the Gulf. Now over here for northern Arkansas, even southern Arkansas at this point, this is just a cluster of storms coming through. But what's popping up from the Gulf could be supercells. So watch out for northern Houston going through the eastern DFW as we go through for tomorrow evening. Then it goes towards northern Louisiana as you go late for tomorrow. Now, once again, this is just a cluster of storms up here. You can see this, but your severity will be down here along the south. For southeastern Texas, going through northern Louisiana. You can see this around 4 or 5 p.m., and now I see a little hail core right there. And this is what's pulling north, and then it gets in front of this line of storms, and that could potentially be a chance for a tornado when that happens. And then for tomorrow evening, it moves towards Louisiana, and this is going to keep going further towards the east. But you see how it's bringing that hail threat in that line of storms. Look at this. You see the hail cores coming through there? It's from Houston all the way towards Greenville. And then as you go later in the evening for tomorrow, this is going to keep going further towards the east, where it could bring our tornado threat right back again as we go into Tuesday. Why are you getting hail in all these storms? And you can see this here. So as you go into Tuesday, you have another line of storms that's going to be coming through, bringing another day of severe weather. And this is going to bring a tornado threat. But there's multiple things happening at the same time. So you can see as we go into Monday, into Tuesday, that not only are you getting chances for damage and winds that come with that line of storms that's going through for Tuesday from Arkansas to northern Mississippi into Tennessee, you're also getting damage and winds coming from that trough that's coming through, bringing some storms, bringing some snow as well from Montana to Dakotas and Minnesota, possibly northern Wisconsin. And all this is 40 miles per hour wind gusts in the green and 50 in that orange. Even the higher elevations getting in some 60. Now you can see here with the Euro, as it goes all the way across, potentially bringing more damage and winds across the United States, where it's not just from Montana or Wyoming, possibly the Dakotas, Nebraska, Iowa, Minnesota, going across Wisconsin as well, and across Ohio Valley and the Great Lakes, bringing a 40 and 50 miles per hour wind swath with that storm system. Now, after you go to Thanksgiving, then we're going to have another storm system build up that could bring snow. But I want to make sure you are well informed. So for tomorrow, your chances for tornadoes, you do have that 2% and you have that 5%. So here's your cities and states at risk for a tornado threat for tomorrow. For Monday, you also have a wind threat and a hail threat in the same locations. So here's your cities and states at risk for damage and winds and possibly hail as we get this strong storm for tomorrow. And you can see from National Weather Service, a few tornadoes along with large hail and damage and winds are anticipated. I did post this on my community tab yesterday. And you can see here with National Weather Service and Colorado State University, showing the cells could be stronger as it goes through northern Louisiana and southern Arkansas. Just be aware. And on Tuesday, as we get that next line of storms, so you see thunderstorms in any of this green area, you do have a marginal for severe weather. I do believe we will see a tornado threat moving through over here from Mississippi and possibly Alabama as well. So far, here's your cities and states at risk for severe weather for Tuesday. So to keep it fair and honest, you can see right here with a national blend of the models. This is all the models put in there, and more likely outcome is going to be some snow for the higher elevations of Washington, Idaho, western Montana, even western Wyoming and Colorado. You could see 2 to 4 inches over here for northeastern Montana, mostly for North Dakota going through central and northern Minnesota, and far northern Wisconsin going into the UP. So over here for Ontario going into Quebec, a lot of snow coming through for y'all and the UP of Michigan. All that pink is going anywhere from 9 inches to a foot. Now after this, once we go past Thanksgiving from the 29th and on, this is where all the models are agreeing that a lot of snow is still moving through. Now this is when we have our polar vortex coming on through and really messing with the weather pattern. And you can still see the weather pattern. We're going to that deep trough into that high ridge and bring chances for snow along that front. Showing that's going to push in real deep all the way into the beginning of December. And just stay there while we get a lot of lift, while we get a lot of storms that could form. So really need to watch out what's forming as we get this front. And you can see this on the latest weather pattern with Climate Prediction Center. So we have this front coming through, bringing this big below average anomaly. We have this big above average anomaly on the east. So this is bringing all that cold air, bringing chances for the snow. And as you see with the precipitation, that you're going to be a little above average in all this green, but it's really going to hit hard over here toward mid-Mississippi Valley. Our snow outlook has upgraded again, everybody. So you can see all the way from the 30th through to the 2nd, you have a good chance for heavy snow to come over here for the higher elevations in Colorado. So all those ski lovers, it is coming your way. And you can see for the rest of the Rockies, from the 30th through to 4th, you do have a slight risk for heavy snow. But look at this region. This is where you're going to get a good chance to see a lot of snow as you come from the 30th through the 2nd. Now, if you notice, all those pink sections are gone. Once again, this is experimental. That's why I keep updating you on this map. Also rainfall, just like you saw the above average. We're going to go right into that weather pattern just like this. And all these storms are going to bring a lot of heavy rainfall as well. And you can see the latest run with the Euro as we go all the way towards the end of the 26th. That we do have a chance to get a lot of that snow for the northern tier of the U.S. So you could see a lot of snow. It is trending that you're going to see this snow. Then right afterwards, when we go from the 29th, the end of the 28th, and move in for the 29th and the 30th. Look at this. That deep trough just bringing a lot of potential snow coming across the U.S. Now this right here is going all the way towards 10 days. Past this is even more snow, but we all know this is going to move around. But look at this compared to the GFS only for the next 10 days. Just seeing that weather pattern, that deep trough, that high ridge, and the snowstorms coming across. The amount is going to change. Usually it's a lot when you're looking far away, and then it consolidates and changes as you get closer. But we do have a good chance for a lot of snow still to come around as we go from the 28th and 29th, especially into the very beginning of December. And our latest tropical update. So you can see all the way to the 25th, we have sinking air. We don't have a lot of favorable environment coming through. But then once we go from the 25th through the 30th of November, this is where we have a lot of favorable environment coming from the Central American Gyre through the Gulf and the southeastern U.S. into the Caribbean. This is where storms could form rather easily, especially over here by the Central American Gyre. And you can see after the 30th, as we go a little bit longer, that it sticks around, that we have favorable environment right here by the Central American Gyre. And we're starting to grow more favorable environment for the U.S. right here as we get that deep trough of cold air. We're going to get a lot of storms brewing. This is going to be some very big snowstorms that we're about to go through. Matter of fact, as we look from the 24th through the 1st of December, a chance for a tropical storm to form. You see it goes all the way towards a 20% chance right here by the Central American Gyre. And once you go past that, it starts weakening the chances for any kind of formation. Now, sea surface temperatures does not matter because you can see right here, this darker orange right there, that's at least 80 degrees right there. That's where you get to 27 degrees Celsius. You see that darker orange. So everything is still very warm except for this bright yellow to that green. So everything is still warm, still able to support tropical activity. All you need is 80 degrees to support a tropical system. Now you can look from the ensembles. This GFS ensembles showing as we go 6 to 7 days, we could get built up over here in the Central American gyre while we get that favorable environment. Nevertheless, storms for the lower 48, showing something could form up right there and possibly go to the west and curve around on that weather pattern. The Euro yesterday started to get a hint of something, but this right here is one ensemble out of 50 to 51 members. So that is a 2% chance of that happening. You see that? That is with the Euro ensembles. Now, when you go by the latest Euro ensembles, it shows it a lot weaker, and something could possibly form over here by the Bahamas and go out through the east. Once again, you're seeing two ensembles, and one of them shows something weak. Then maybe as you go 12 days and beyond, maybe something sneaky again. We do have favorable environment, but it all depends where this high pressure is going to set up. Let me show you. But it is just a little worrisome because we have a MJO wave coming by, everybody. Now you can see here with the latest deterministic by the GFS that it is showing that something could form up all the way to Yucatan as we go towards 10 days right here. As we get in that cold blast, that big snowstorm, everything coming to fruition at one time, showing that could swing around and then get pulled into the Gulf as a potential system. I'm showing this is a very low chance. When you look with the outcome, you can see right here with the Canadian, it is showing you high pressure is over here. So when you have this upper level high right here, this is going to swing everything into the Pacific just like that. And we have all kind of different weather patterns. This is why it's so far away. Look at the European. European is showing that we have an upper level high right here. That's more likely going to swing it into this direction. But at the same time, you don't see a lot of precipitation or a lot of storms that's building up with that. You see that? But we still need to watch it because the Euro shows that after we go 10 days, that the high pressure moves over here. And this is what GFS agrees. And this is where it could swing something around. So far, I'm thinking it would be disorganized thunderstorms, if anything. But when you look by GFS, it sees that high pressure. It sees that deep trough, that big storm coming through. At the same time, it pinpoints a very strong hurricane coming right towards our Gulf as we go through the beginning of December. Now, we do have a lot of favorable environment, but this is still going 8 to 9 days away. I will keep you updated. Make sure you click the bell for updates. But you can also see with your temperatures, this is right when we're getting that big blast, bringing a lot of snow. So there's going to be a lot going on around this time. Everybody's going to be a very strong transition going into winter. Winter is literally coming in like a lion. Now, when you look at the ensembles to see what the trend is and the chances of this happening, as you go literally 9 days towards that 10-day mark, you can start seeing some interaction. You can see the one that we see on the deterministic model this morning. You see a weaker one here, a weaker one here, more weaker ones, but at the same time, you see more of them, which is not what we want to see. Last time I updated this, we saw about 3 of these. Now we're looking about 4 to 5, maybe even 6 of them, but only 1 or 2, you see that second one, is showing any kind of intensity, while the rest of them show nothing will form. So you literally have 6 out of 30 of them for a chance to form. So that brings you about an 18% chance for this to actually happen. Now, the Euro is showing is 1 or 2 out of 50, which brings it all the way down towards a 4 to a 6% chance. Now, just to stay accurate and honest, you can see with National Hurricane Center, they don't have anything for the next 7 days. And when you go by global tropics, you see that they have above average precipitation around that time. No formation. But I will keep you updated. Make sure you subscribe for more updates. Thank you for your time, everybody. That is your latest weather forecast of what is coming right around the corner. If this video has helped you in any way, make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe button, even hype it up. Help this get out to more people. Support the video. Make sure you put a comment, everybody. Try and help the video any way you can. Thank you again for all of your support. And before I go, a quick word from our Father, everybody. And I want to help everyone, pray for everyone that is out there that is in need. And the best way I can do it is speak what Jesus said about the best way to pray, everybody. Matthew 6, 5 through 13. And when thou prayest, thou shalt not be as the hypocrites are, for they love to pray standing in the synagogues and in the corners of the streets, that they may be seen of men. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. But thou, when thou prayest, enter into thy closet, and when thou hast shut the door, pray to thy Father, which is in secret. The Father which is in secret, and thy Father which seeth in secret, shall reward thee openly. But when ye pray, use not vain repetitions, as the heathens do, for they think that they shall be heard for their much speaking. Be not ye therefore like unto them, for your Father knoweth what things ye have need of before ye ask him. After this manner therefore pray ye, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. Amen. Thank you for your time, everybody. I hope you have a very blessed Sunday out there. Thank you for all the support and the shares. I do see it out there. Thank you again. I appreciate every single one of y'all. I will keep you updated. And remember, above all things, all glory does go to God, our Father in heaven, Yahweh. And I always hope he keeps you safe every single day of your life. You and everyone that is around you. And forever. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you again for tomorrow morning.